The United States' unwavering support for Israel in the recent Iran-Israel conflict is not an accident or a simple matter of friendship. It is a calculated strategic choice that reflects decades of geopolitical interests, political lobbying, and ideological narratives, but it comes with severe consequences that are too often ignored. And under Donald Trump's administration, this support reached an unprecedented level of intensity and one-sidedness, raising serious questions about America's role as a so-called neutral global power. To understand why Trump and broadly the US government throws its full weight behind Israel, we need to peel back the layers of history, politics, and strategic interest. Since Israel's creation in 1948, the United States has positioned itself as Israel's most steadfast ally. This relationship has been nurtured through massive military aid, intelligence sharing, and diplomatic backing. For the US, Israel is viewed as a crucial foothold in the volatile Middle East, a region rich in resources but rife with conflicts and competing powers. Israel is often described in American political circles as a democratic oasis in a sea of instability. This narrative simplifies complex regional dynamics and positions Israel as the good guy, deserving of unconditional support. But this simplification ignores the reality on the ground, including Israel's controversial policies toward Palestinians, aggressive military actions, and role in destabilizing the region. The heart of the current conflict is Iran, a country the US has long sought to contain and isolate. Iran's nuclear program, regional influence, and support for militias in Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza threaten American allies and interests. Trump's aggressive posture toward Iran, including his decision to withdraw from the 2015 Iran nuclear deal and impose crippling sanctions, reflects a broader strategy to cripple Iran economically and militarily. Supporting Israel's military strikes on Iranian nuclear and military sites is part of this containment. The US essentially uses Israel as a proxy to do its dirty work, avoiding direct conflict while reaping the benefits of undermining Iran's ambitions. Trump's fervent support for Israel is not just about geopolitics, it is deeply intertwined with domestic political calculations. Powerful pro-Israel lobbies, especially AIPAC and evangelical Christian groups, hold enormous influence in US politics. These groups consistently push for hardline policies against Iran and support for Israel. For Trump, appealing to these bases was crucial. These voters were among his most loyal supporters. His administration's policies reflect this political reality. Loud public endorsements of Israel's right to defend itself, coupled with threats against Iran. This dynamic creates a dangerous feedback loop where policy is shaped not by balanced analysis, but by the need to please influential domestic groups. The US-Israel relationship is also fueled by economic and military interests. The US provides billions in military aid to Israel each year, sustaining a huge defense industry that profits from the sale of weapons, technology, and intelligence equipment. Supporting Israel's military campaigns ensures ongoing demand for American arms and preserves US dominance in global arms sales. The military-industrial complex benefits from perpetuating conflicts that justify continued spending and intervention. The one-sided American support for Israel's aggressive stance emboldens policies that fuel regional tensions and violence. Iran and its allies see the US as a direct threat, not a neutral party, which hardens their resistance. This support shuts down diplomatic solutions, escalates violence, and pushes the Middle East closer to a wider war that could engulf the world. It also alienates countless Muslims and Arabs, pushing them toward anti-American sentiments and extremism, outcomes directly counterproductive to long-term peace and security. Beyond strategic interests, America's blind backing of Israel raises serious moral questions. The US often ignores Israel's violations of human rights, civilian casualties, and breaches of international law in its campaigns against Palestinians, and now Iran. By siding so firmly with Israel, the US sacrifices its credibility as a defender of human rights and international justice. It reduces itself to a biased actor in a brutal conflict, undermining global trust. Blindly supporting one side in such a complex and volatile conflict is reckless. It risks dragging the US into a wider, more destructive war, possibly even sparking a broader Middle Eastern or global conflict. Instead of pushing for balanced diplomacy and de-escalation, the US fuels the fire, acting more as an instigator than a peacemaker. Donald Trump's and the broader US government's unconditional support for Israel amid the Iran conflict is a deeply flawed policy driven by a mixture of political interests, ideological bias, and strategic calculations. While it may serve short-term goals, It undermines long-term peace, fuels regional instability, and damages America's standing in the world. It's time to question this dangerous alliance and demand a more balanced, ethical, and peace-driven American foreign policy, one that doesn't blindly support war, but seeks real solutions.